All right, welcome to my first podcast. My name is Aru, but this channel is called Sneaker, and so is most of my socials. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Spotify podcast, Apple Music podcast. They're all just go follow them, whatever. It'll be the same, similar content everywhere. It's just your choice of platform. On TikTok, I review things in 15 seconds. On this, I'll review things a little bit longer. Instagram will be kind of medium. Whatever, you know the vibe. Anyway, so today and in all future podcasts, I can't just be going through my Instagram on this monitor here and going through the latest things and kind of just reviewing them and showing some insight. I'm not just gonna say what it is, but just give my opinion on it. I guess that's what I want to use YouTube for. So let's get started. This is Sneak here, and please follow all my socials. The first thing I want to show you guys is the Gucci Spring Summer 2020. And before I delve into the Gucci Spring Summer 2020 imagery, I kind of want to explain how the whole system works in fashion. First, you have Spring Summer, which goes on from about January to June. And then you have Fall Winter, which goes from July until December. And then you have pre-fall, which is right before fall, and then you have resort collection, which is towards the end of fall, and that's just to get some warmer clothes going. And the releases in terms of the runway and some photos are always kind of 4 or 5 months before they're coming out. So let's say right now it is spring summer. The runway happened around October, I think, for a lot of brands. So now that it's releasing, they'll kind of just upload images to get the hype going. So now let's go into Gucci Spring Summer 2020 and the images they used recently. So about 2 days ago, Gucci released a collection of images to help portray the feeling that people should get from the new collection. And they used a lot of horses, and it was taken in LA. And I think the feeling and the tone I get from this collection is kind of retro, hipstery, 70s, 80s, because that's the way the colors are, the models, the cars. And I know I just said the word horses and just went past it, but the use of horses was to give the idea of freedom, not being tied down. There's just a horse in the middle of LA in a car, and I think that's pretty cool. So just going through the actual pieces itself, I think the purses in this collection were very, very interesting. The use of just, retro-y brown and beige colors, as you can see in this photo. And then this I especially love because this purse is kind of made out of a different type of material. It might be like crocodile skin. I'm not sure, but it does look very interesting. I love the use of different types of materials more than I love structure or color. But I think structure can also play a big part of it, and just very simple, And the kind of circles with the in the middle of the purse, there's a circle with a line going through it. It helps me just think about horses more because of the hooves. And I think they help portray that very nicely in this whole image. And as you can see, there's a horse in the background and she's grabbing on the tails. It's very weird, but kind of cool. And I respect Alessandro for that. Um, Okay, now we go on to Louis Vuitton's version of Spring Summer 2020. And in this, they actually use a lot of flowers instead of horses. And the collection of images in this campaign was called Footprints. And the theme behind it was man's positive impact on the earth, as I recall. Let me just read. Yeah, okay. And it was taken in Morocco. So this collection, what they'll be doing is for the images, they'll be taking a bunch of images in 5 different continents. So it started off in the continent of Africa as the collection was taking in Morocco at this beach vibe where there's a lot of water, a lot of flowers, a lot of color, a lot of culture. And I really like that. So I guess there'll be 4 more continents releasing very soon. And the kind of vibe I get from this collection was I couldn't see the pieces very well, whereas in like Gucci, you get to see more of the pieces themselves a lot. The only thing the only thing that came out of this was me looking at the duffel bags because the duffel bags were very interesting. So if I scroll around, you can see this blue duffel bag here, and I thought that was really cool because out of all like the colors used, the duffel bags for some reason pop out a lot in these photos. So I can't wait for the other four continents to come. I think it'll be quite interesting. And then now we had two spring summer 2020s, Gucci and Louis. And then another set of releases that happened were the Lunar Year releases, which is for Chinese New Year, as a lot of Chinese people in China buy a lot of clothes from the fashion houses, so they help cater towards them. So if I scroll down, you can see, well, starting off with Louis Vuitton's version of the Lunar Year, they made a bunch of watches, and these were smart watches, right? They aren't not analog; they're digital, and they have 12 different animals that signify each of the animals from the Chinese New Year calendar and from each year. So they have a red face behind them, a Louis trunk in front of the animal, and then they have different versions of that with different straps as well. They go from $2,000 all the way up to $5,000, which is a very high price point, but relative to good watches and expensive watches, it is a medium price point. But it is digital, where all good watches are always using analog. So that was Louis Vuitton's version of the Lunar New Year. Now, if we look at Off White's version, I do not like Off White that much just because they overplay the theme of construction a lot. And I don't, I feel like it is very similar to Louis Vuitton in a sense now. But the Lunar New Year collection was very well made. And I think Off White did a very fantastic job. Just a fantastic job, I mean. That was weird saying very, but they did a very good job with purses, I think, and a lot of the colors they used in the Lunar New Year. So they used red, which is the color of the Lunar New Year. However, they used lots of flowers with red that complement the color. So they used a lot of pink flowers, and then they had the iconic speech marks, and in the middle it said "Good luck." And I thought that was really interesting just because they kept it very simple, very much in line with authentic Off White, but they played on colors a lot because the structure wasn't different, the materials weren't different, but the color itself. And it just made me happy. It was a very positive color. So I thought that was really cool. And even like they have a shoulder bag with a circular frame and it says good luck as well. That was interesting. So that came out about 6 days ago, I think. And you can go buy it right now. And I know a lot of people in New York and around the world love Bape. So Bape came out with the collection. It's kind of giving respect to five major fashion capitals that they cater to, I think, as a business. Paris was not on there, or Milan, which I was kind of confused by, but the other one were fashion capitals. So New York, Los Angeles, Tokyo, and Hong Kong had collections come out by Bape for them. And like just in the New York Bape T-shirt, they used the Statue of Liberty, as you can see. And I thought that was very interesting. I actually kind of liked it because it kept things very simple, and it did pay respect to each of the cities in their own unique ways. And if you're going to buy Bape, you might as well represent your city. That's my kind of take on it. And one more thing that came out, I thought this was really cool, was ACW, which is a cold wall. They came out with custom hardware they started selling their custom hardware. So things like zippers that they sell or straps, they sold that separately. I think they go for $40 to $80. So if you make a custom piece and you want a zipper, you could just buy ACW zipper. And I know the price point might be high, and it might be, it might not be the best collection ever, but this does open up the gate towards more companies doing it, because right now it is the era of personalization. As you can see, Goyard, Gucci, Dior, you can write whatever you want on their pieces, right? So that got me thinking that it is the era of personalization. This is very smart because people who customize their own clothes will not be able to use these brands in their own way, and kind of giving that viral marketing sense where people can share their customizations online and have that tag of ACW on them. So I really do hope other brands start doing this, because it kind of gives, as they said in quotes, individuals opportunity to access brand intellectual property. That was very, very interesting. And one thing that stood out for me that I don't know, I guess there's stuff that I don't really think about, but I saw this news and I thought it was really interesting. Was Paria Farzane? I'm really sorry, I don't know how to say it, but This London-based Iranian designer, she made a whole collection using a lot of different colors, but she used Iranian patterns as well, integrated to it. And I thought that she played on the pattern and structure really well, just because she took very classic pieces, changed the structure, and then put on the Iranian patterns on them. So it was kind of mixed for double trouble, and I thought it was really cool, especially the pants, just because having patterns of pants like that, and very interesting because you can kind of dress in a different way. You choose like a simple black T-shirt, simple white shirt, but she decided in the lookbook and on the runway just to keep different colors on. And I thought that was a bold move, but it played off because she managed to make sure that the tones were matching. So the pattern pants, as you can see, have red lining on them, and then she decided to get a red jacket. It's kind of like a whole look, but you can get your own red shirt that you prefer. So that was really cool. So I'm kind of gonna end it there. I'm not sure how this will go. This is my first podcast. Really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys want to see more, tell me what you want to see. If you guys want to comment down below how you felt, whatever. I'll take all comments. So this was Sneaker. I hope you guys enjoy. Have a great day.